The Cook Islands are a small group of islands in the South Pacific, about 10 hours from LA, 5 hours from New Zealand, and 3 hours from Tahiti. They are by most measurements a bit isolated. As there is only one flight from all of North America to the Cook Islands per week, we found ourselves in an isolated part of the airport apart from the normal travelers.
Oh, it's me, and I brought someone with me today.
Hello.
It's Brian.
Why would we go to the Cook Islands? Simple. Nobody you know has ever been there but us, and that is what makes us that much cooler. More than 12 hours later, we arrived in Rarotonga, the most populous of the Cook Islands, at a staggering 13,000 people. We then settled into our lodging at the Iroko Bungalows.
We had a really long flight. It was 11 hours, and it was a lot of obstacles. After I spoke the first time, we then were taken by bus somewhere miles away, and then taken down a long concrete ramp, then finally put on the plane. So it was a long flight, but we made it, and it's hopefully going to be a good trip. How are you feeling right now?
I'm not really sure. I feel like I've been up for a very long time, yet I don't feel like I need to sleep. It really comes down to what Nicole feels like doing, because it's about her and what makes her happy.
Aw, isn't that cute? Sucking up to the camera. Well, I'm exhausted, but you know, I love a storm, so I heard the thunder and I had to come outside and enjoy it because we live in an area where we actually don't hear thunder. I've been traveling all day and I was just taken to a brewery tour. I didn't know what the guy was saying, but he kept giving me drinks, so. Brian's driving on the right side
The
of the
following day, we departed for Wigmore's waterfall.
And we had an early start at 8 right now. Just seeing a waterfall. Very jungle-like. You don't like my commentary?
It's okay. It's just, it's something people would do on a family video in like the 90s. Did you see that I turned onto the correct lane while I was making that right turn?
I did. I didn't. I wouldn't have done that.
The road going to this waterfall passes by the grounds of what was planned to be a Sheraton resort.
The old Sheraton.
That never was.
With goats.
Now it is just a rusting carcass of what could have been. Goats and other animals act as a landscaping crew. We then attempted to hike the Cross Island Trek. If you ever find yourself on Rarotonga, do not do this hike. You will be molested by insects, and there is very little reward for your efforts. After we abandoned this venture, the sun began to poke its head out. So we visited nearby Muri Beach and then went from our bungalow across the water to a nearby Motu, or offshore island. We waded in mostly knee-deep water in a fairly strong current to get there, where we were greeted by many hermit crabs. This completed another day on Rarotonga. The following day, despite the rain, we attempted to trek to another offshore Motu, but the current proved to be a bit too strong this day, so we aborted. The rest of the day was spent doing shopping for things like ukuleles and pearls that were being sold in people's backyards. Eventually, we made our way to the airport.
I just wanted to report we're at Rarotonga Airport waiting to get on our flight to Aitutaki, and let's see here, I'll turn it around. Our domestic gate, we had no security. We checked in and we were given this as a ticket. And that is our gate, and that is Brian. Are you excited? You don't like that I do family movies?
I'm getting uncomfortable.
It's like being on the Hallmark Channel all the time. Here's the airport. And chickens.
We departed from rainy and cloudy Rarotonga and arrived just 35 minutes later in sunny Aitutaki. After arrival, we went to what is known as Island Night, a sort of cultural display of food and dancing. The food wasn't good, and the performances seemed a little lackluster and cheesy. The next day, we went on a lagoon tour of Aitutaki to explore its rich, clear, and blue waters. We began with some snorkeling. We continued by visiting numerous uninhabited motus, ate lunch, and planted our own coconut.
We're on a essentially deserted island in the South Pacific. There's Brian down there filming birds.
Our final stop was One Foot Island, where we did some snorkeling before heading back for the night. The following day, we hiked to the tallest peak on Aitutaki, and then rented a scooter to explore the rest of the island. This did not take long, as it is not large. We didn't see many people, but the ones we did see, we had seen before. Twice. After all, this island averages just 50 visitors per day. So as our time wound down, we had a chance to reflect on where we had been. If you like internet, or world news, or tomatoes, or the expectation that you can go into a convenience store to get a bottle of water without difficulty, these islands are not for you. But if you like beautiful scenery and clear blue water and don't like sharing that view with other people, you might like this little-known place called the Cook Islands.